Good morning, SMP Nation. How are we doing? Happy Takeover Tuesday. I'm so excited for today's episode. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Roger says hi. You look so mysterious back there, Roger. Well, welcome back, or welcome if you are new to the show. My name's Kennedy. I'm the social media specialist here at SMP, and I'm so excited to bring you Takeover Tuesday. So I want to talk to you guys first. Let's see what's going on with you. I was looking at the chat this morning before we even got started, and I'm seeing a lot of people are under the weather. A lot of people are kind of feeling a little down, so I hope everyone gets better and is feeling right back to 100%, because we got to get through sewing and the holidays and the crafts and everything this year, and Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Right. Well, let's see who's all on today. I have a shout out I need to do as well. So if you guys didn't know, Carol Lombardi, she is a frequent watcher on our show, and she is so sweet. And she actually sent me and Michelle, Blaine's wife, it was her birthday over the weekend, and my birthday's on the 28th. She sent us some gifts, and I just have to show you guys. I put her card up. Where is it? I'm trying to point to the right there. I put her card up because it was so adorable, and she made me this little cork wallet. Look at how adorable this is. So it's got all your different little card slots in there, and you've got a little zipper and a nice little compartment in here. I love it. It's now one of my favorite things. I'm trying to figure out what I should put in it, because I don't know. I know I need one of these, and I'm so excited to keep this in my bag. So thank you, Carol, for the sweet gift. And she also brought some hand cream, and this is the best smelling hand cream ever. It is so nice. So thank you so much, Carol. You literally made my day yesterday. Blaine brought it in, and I was like, "This is my favorite." I went around and showed everybody. But thank you again, and I hope to see you soon when you come out to visit. All right. Let's see who else is on. Oh, there she is. I see your comment. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. You're so sweet. Let's see who's on. So we've got Pamela Nestler. Good morning. Linda Brooks. All my friends are here, you guys. Paula Becker, Roxanne Van Gelder. Let's see, Verita Wallace. She commented that it was snowing this morning where she was at, but it melted away. I want to see snow so bad soon at some point this winter. Let's see who else. Pamela Mason, Winona Mixon. Good morning, everyone. Tammy Longhorn. We've got a bunch of people on here today. I am so excited. Well, let's go ahead and get into today's episode. So as you saw from the title, it is the art of quilting templates. Now, if you were watching our channel when we were doing daily shows during the week, we actually had So Steady on, and they would go through and do all these different classes for, different techniques for using your templates and things like that. But we have stopped doing that during the week, and we just keep Takeover Tuesday and SMP Live. But I've been seeing a lot of comments about people, you guys have said, oh, I've bought quilting templates, but I don't really know how to use them. I kind of want to see just a rundown, the basics of how they work. So here we are, today's episode, and why not with Quilter's Paradise? Now, they are local as well, so I love getting our local friends involved and showing them to you guys. You guys have more, exposure to all the different brands because you want to meet the faces behind them, and especially Kelly, she's going to be on here today. She's so sweet and just so knowledgeable when it comes to templates, and the things that she creates they're just so beautiful. So I had to bring her on, and we had to get her in here to show you guys what you can do because it's so much fun. There's so many different things you can do, not even when it comes to quilting. I mean, you can use them for so many other different types of projects, which is awesome. So anything to help you guys get more creative and just things to show you to get more inspired. So with that, before we get Kelly in here, I just wanted to share just a couple quick announcements. Black Friday is coming up so soon, and Cyber Monday. Black Friday, we're going to have so many amazing deals in our stores. So in our Mission Bay store, in our San Marcos store, it's going to be wild. And you don't want to miss out. Definitely, if you are local, stop in and see what we've got going in there. Corey and Raina, our managers at the San Diego and San Marcos store, are working hard to get all of that ready for you. And we're working hard over here for Cyber Monday and the live stream on the 28th. It is going to be so much fun. It is a full day live stream. So you, for example, today, you only see me for an hour, right? You only see me for just a little bit, and we do a little, teaching thing here and there. But Cyber Monday, we are going to be having a new educator coming on our show every 15 minutes to show you a product, a new technique, a new tip. It's going to be so exciting and also fast. So if you like just quick demos, right to the point, this will be such a good show for you to watch because you're going to be able to see so many different products and different projects and things and educators in one day. So highly recommend you go on, and we have our page already set up that you can sign up with your email. If you want to just get some more info about it, you can sign up on our website. I'll put that link down below when we start with the show. But yes, November 28th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join in. It's going to be a blast. And Blaine will be there. It's going to be so much fun. I'll be there. Kyle, Roger, we're all going to be here. I don't know if Andre is going to be here, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, with that, also with Cyber Monday and signing up for emails, sign up for our emails anyway. It's a great way to connect with us over here at SMP, and we always have new deals and special things going on. And also, we always put info about classes and events in our emails. Definitely sign up for that. And also, like our page on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. I've got it all linked down below to where you can get more involved. And also, I know a lot of you are in our SMP Nation Facebook group. It's our private group. But if you haven't joined already, I have the link down below in the description where you can you can request to join. There we go, I'm mixing things up here. But you can request to join, and it's a great little platform for all you guys to talk to each other, and everybody shares their projects, and it's so much fun to see how you guys are using, for example, things from your giveaways and what you guys are doing or sharing your sewing room or your projects, whatever it may be. It's just been so much fun to have another way to chat with you guys besides just seeing your comments on here. So, again, that's linked down below. But with that, let's go ahead and get started and let's see what Kelly is up to and see what is going on. All right. Hello. Good morning,
Hi.
Kelly.
Good
I'm
morning,
so
Kennedy.
excited that you're here. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for
Yes, I
having
am
us.
excited that you're here. Of course, I had to. And especially with your quilting templates, I mean, they're probably, I mean, with our regular customers at the store and just our friends online, they are so popular and we love your templates, all of your different patterns and things like that. It's amazing. And you
Yeah,
guys are local. We're friends. We're San Diego
exactly.
friends.
We're like literally like 2 blocks away from each other. It's great.
Yes, yes, exactly. But more the merrier. It's great.
Exactly.
Well, Kelly, what are we going to be chatting about today?
So anyway, Quilter's Paradise developed this slit and sew templates about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was all about making, in particular, curve piecing easy. Um, I don't know about the rest of you, but I've been sewing for a number of years, and template piecing has been great in its accuracy, but boy, it's a little, oh, it takes a lot of work to cut all of those templates, and it's exacting and it can be a little tedious. Well, I have stayed away from curve piecing all these years because it's the pinning, constant pinning, and your points never matching either at the beginning or the end, or maybe both don't match. And so then there's cutting down. Well, Sue Mazzara of Quilter's Paradise came up with this great concept of slit and sew piecing, in particular using for curve piecing. So today we're going to talk about the Drunkard's Path, which is the first one she started with, and the 4 different sizes that we have that template in, and just some of the tricks and tools that you would need to be successful in this.
That is awesome, and I cannot wait to get started. I know we also have some videos to show
Yeah.
with how to use them, and they really go in depth on examples of how you can use it and all different types of things. So let's go ahead and get started. So Kelly, I will go ahead and let you take it away and just start chatting about what's going on, and then we will get started with the videos.
Okay, so I believe our first video is the tools of the trade. What makes you successful from the get-go when you start a project involving our slit and sew templates? So in the video, you're going to see a number of tools that is really helpful and in some cases necessary to be successful. One of my favorite ones is simply your 28mm rotary cutter. You're going to find that having that, you can use the 45. I just find I'm more successful with the 28, especially when you're cutting those curves around the curves. It just doesn't seem to catch the slits that are in those templates. So that's my first one, and I know that Kennedy and Sewing Machines Plus has these on their website. You're going to see the need for an accurate 1/4 inch, which is unusual in most of quilting. They ask for a scant 1/4 inch. That is not something you want to use in doing these templates. They were created, engineered with a true 1/4 inch seam. So that's very important for you to be successful. And a good way to test that your machine is doing an accurate 1/4 inch is this little sewing machine guide, seam guide. And that you'll see these being used also in the video that's coming up. The other thing we'll talk about, this is not necessary per se to be successful. However, it is a great little tool. This is a finger stiletto, and it's by Missy Carpenter's Traditional Primitive. Sewing Machines Plus does have this on their website as well for sale. This is fabulous as far as I'm concerned. When you're sewing those pieces together, and you're going to see when it's most useful. What I like about it is there's a flat curved tip on it, so it's not pointy. Some of the stilettos I've seen, they actually poke holes in your fabric. This will not do that. Also, the great thing is with it being flat, it almost runs directly along your foot. So you can guide your fabric right up and under the foot of your sewing machine without it interfering with your stitch. So these are a great tool. The other thing you're going to see is this Cut Right Handy Grabber. Now this is, you're going to find in all of our Slit and Sew template kits. It's a real fine sandpaper that you take the paper off the back, you cut it into little squares. Please don't use your fabric scissors for this. It's not good. You want to use like your paper scissors when cutting this up. And you don't need a lot. You just place it in these great areas, and I'll grab one of my templates over here, and maybe you can see. So I put it just in these 3 corners, and it holds your fabric in place beautifully without worrying about it wiggling and you getting off when you're using your rotary cutter to cut out your pieces. And then I did just comment real quick on a seam guide that we have. Sorry, not a seam guide, our thread stem. This is fabulous. Not necessary per se in making this template piece, but for all of you that like the big cones of thread, I use Aurifil all the time, and because I piece so much, I love the big cones. And you have that wonderful thread cone holder that sits behind your machine, and it tends to be bulky, some cases heavy if it's made out of metal. This, you'll see how it's used, simply goes on the little what you would use to put your bobbins on to wind. You pop that on and you put your cone on the back of your machine on your sewing table. Doesn't need to go in a cup. You thread it up through this narrower hole here and then proceed to thread your machine just like you normally would. It's great. It's light, easy. You throw it in your travel bag when you go on your retreats or your classes, and it's great. So comment on that. But I think at that point, Kennedy, we're ready to show that little video that we made up.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the tools that we use when we are using our Slit and Sew templates, and they're really pretty basic. First off, we're going to do the sewing machine guide. The reason you're going to want this is because in all of our patterns with our Slit and Sew templates, it calls for an accurate 1/4 inch seam, not the scant 1/4 inch that we use most of the time with our quilting. And if you have any questions as to whether or not your machine is giving an accurate 1/4 inch, this little tool is very handy, and I'll show you how we use it here in a minute. The other one that we have is our thread stem. This is a fabulous little tool that uses either cone thread or just your regular spool thread. If you need more room for it, you can just put this where your thread normally goes. It reaches out behind your machine and you thread up your thread right through it, and you don't need to put your thread in any kind of a cup or anything. It'll sit right on your sewing table and work fabulously. Your 28 millimeter rotary cutter is something you're going to want to use in all of your cutting. It really just makes it much more accurate and easier, especially when you're doing those concave curves. The other thing I use, your basic masking tape. What I do is I build it up maybe about 4 or 5 layers on top of each other, and when I'm setting up my 1/4 inch seam, I then butt this right against it and put it down on my machine, so I ensure that I get an accurate 1/4 inch all the time. And finally, our last little tool is this fingertip stiletto. This is by traditional primitive, sorry about that, Missy Carpenter. She carries this, and Sewing Machine Plus has these on their website as well. These are great when you're piecing your pieces with the curving and making sure that everything goes in together evenly. These are a great one, and because they're rounded and they're flat, it kind of fits right underneath your presser foot, and it doesn't poke holes in your fabric like some of the sharper stilettos I've used in the past. So this is pretty much all you're going to need, and we're going to be off and running.
Wow, you guys, what did you guys think? Let's get Kelly back in here. And Kelly, so those seem to be like your essentials when it comes to your templates and things like that. And I just want to mention real quick before we get back into the rest of the info for today's show that you can get all of these products today in a bundle right now. And I will put the link down in the description, but you can get the rotary cutter, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just real quick of our website so that way you guys can see what is going on. I was going to save this for later, but then you were already talking about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to show them real quick. So here's our website, and it is the Takeover Tuesday Quilters Paradise Bundle. And we've got a little discount on there for you guys with the rotary cutter. It's got that handy grabber, that seam guide, and that finger stiletto, which I know you guys are very interested in. Kelly, I'm looking at the comments right now, and everybody's like, what is that? What is that? What is that amazing creation? So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. It's down in the link below. But a great way to get a little bundle going on and get some of those great products and try them out.
And the reason I like that stiletto so much is the fact that I can leave it on my finger the rest of the time while I'm sewing. It doesn't get in the way, so there's not that picking up, setting down, picking up, setting down kind of thing, you know, because we want to be sewing.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking when that video was playing, because you can just leave it on. And when you were saying you could do it running through and it won't hit your foot, it won't poke your fabric. I mean, when it comes to stilettos, sometimes people forget about that kind of tool, you know, but having that there and kind of knocking out the 2 steps in one, I think is so easy. And any little knickknack or, you know, little accessory to keep your, the efficiency going with your projects, I think that's the best. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Anything that helps, we'll take. You know, as quilters, we love accessories and things that make the process easier. So you'll love that fingertip stiletto.
Yes, I love it. I think I'm going to try it too. I know Deb she's kind of our events manager, you probably know Deb, but she loves little knickknacks like that. And so I'm sure we're probably going to talk about it after the show, and we'll try it out and see how it goes.
Oh, good. You'll like it.
Yes. So let's continue going into setting up your machine.
Yes, let's go ahead. So basically, the next video is going to show you some of the tools that we talked about, how they relate to your sewing machine and getting ready to start sewing your pieces that you've cut from the Slit and Sew template. So we can just go right to it there, Kennedy, then.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the very complicated method of using this thread stem, and I say that definitely tongue-in-cheek. So this great tool, you're going to have this acrylic stem here, and you're going to have 2 size holes. The larger hole is going to go over where you would normally put your thread, and then the skinnier, smaller hole is actually where you're going to thread it up through from your nice, wonderful size cone. I love Aurifil, and I piece with it for everything. So for me, it makes sense to buy the cone, but I really dislike using the cone holders that are out there. They're very heavy and bulky, especially when one wants to travel for classes. And then you just, oh, and I just lost it, sorry. So what you're going to do is then you're going to thread from the bottom up, your thread here, and then you're going to proceed to just thread your machine like you normally do. And this just enables you to use a cone of thread on those machines that don't accommodate it without having to buy one of those heavy metal, cumbersome spool holders. So that is our thread stem. Okay, so we've got our sewing machine seam guide, and this is crucial to make sure that your seams that you are sewing when you're using our slit and sew templates are an accurate 1/4 inch. And this has 4 different little holes to represent 1/4 of an inch all the way to 3/4 of an inch. So what you do is you slide it here underneath your feed dogs. You're going to go ahead and lower your needle until you find the 1/4 inch, and there we are. So I'm going to put my feed dog down. I'm going to take that nice little pile of masking tape, and I'm going to butt it up against our seam guide and press down. And that means that when I take this up and off, we have this great edge to follow, and that will ensure that we keep our 1/4 of an inch accurate all through our sewing project.
I love that little tool. Oh my gosh. That makes life so easy. I know the struggles of a 1/4 inch seam and how tough it might be to get it just right down on the dot. That just took, that took you, what, a minute?
Yeah, if that. And,
Oh
you
my
know, the
gosh.
thing is that everybody's machine is just a little different. You know, you can go from a featherweight to a Bernina to a Pfaff, you know, and their 1/4 inch is just a hair different. So if you find that you go from machine to machine on one project, I try to do my project all on the same machine. But if you're going to class and you have a different machine that you take versus what you leave at home, this prevents that variance, you know, from machine to machine. It's going to be accurate every single time and consistent regardless of what machine you use. So it's a great way to do it.
No, I love that, and everybody is agreeing, especially with that the thread stem. People were saying that they have a thread stand and they have their own, but they think this might be an easier alternative. And I definitely agree. I mean, it's so simple and it just easily just sits on your machine.
Yeah.
And anything to help threads not get tangled or messed up and just keep it smooth. Sign me up.
The thread stem is all about convenience, really. And it didn't showcase as well on my featherweight that I was using in the video. So when I use it on my Bernina, I use it on the little part that stands up that you put your bobbin on when you're winding it. And
Yeah.
it stays up, it stays up more. It doesn't flop down like you kind of saw with the
Yes.
featherweight. It keeps up there, and it just is so easy to do. And once you're done, you simply take it off, you know, and you're
Yeah.
going to a class and you throw it in your travel bag. It's
Yeah.
really, really easy and not bulky at all. So
Oh, and I
it's a
agree.
great one.
I saw a comment up here. Michelle Kelly said it, and very cost effective. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a simple little tool that, you never think about these issues until you're there and you're seeing the issue. And just having the little tool, especially with thread itself, because that's probably one of the most important parts of your project.
Exactly.
It's the glue. So just having something simple to keep it consistent and efficient that's our biggest lesson here. Consistency and efficiency.
Exactly. It's all about making sewing curves or any kind of project easy. None of us want to struggle when we're excited about working on a project. You know, we want to get into the bones of it and get going. And these little tips and these tools make that possible. So it's exciting.
Yeah. So let's talk about cutting. Let's get into that.
Yeah, cutting, the first thing you're going to hear people say when they see one of our templates, they're going to go, those slits here, aren't they cutting into our seam allowance? And it does look like this. Like all of our templates show the seam allowance in a dotted line, like a hashtag line all the way around. That's where your seam is, seam allowance. And the slits do go past those lines. However, it's been engineered that when you are cutting with your rotary cutter, cutting those slits, it will not go past that seam allowance. So don't be afraid of it. Here's what I find. I find that the trick is to have this down on your fabric. I like to have at least cutting 2 layers up to 4. It just seems to pop through those layers easier. So you're going to see in the video that it's all about how you do it. First, you want to cut down here and then out. Never cut towards you. We don't want sharp edges hopping over there and cutting you. That's not good. We always cut away from us. And it's just a matter of you'll push down and you'll almost hear/feel a pop as it goes through your fabric, and then you just push away from you. And those slits are what you're going to use when you piece your 2 pieces together. Now, I don't know how well you can see these slits. There we go. Trying to figure out. And that is what you're going to use. And they're not very big, but you don't need them big. You just need those slits big enough to line up with your second piece so you can sew accurately. So we can go ahead, if you want, Kennedy, and go to the video that shows the cutting.
Okay, so we're going to go and start cutting our pieces that we're going to use for our, in this case, a 6-inch finished Drunkard's Path. Now, you're going to have an A and a B template. And on the back side of these templates, you see this little material here. That is a material that comes in all of our patterns with our templates, and it is called our Handy Grabber. This is available on Sewing Machines Plus website as well. This is great. It really grips your fabric, especially when using your templates, so that you don't get any slippage and your cutting is accurate. So this is a great little material to add to any of your templates or even your rulers that you may use. Okay, so in getting ready to cut our pieces, I find that it's easiest to pre-cut into strips the sizes that you're going to use, so that when you actually cut your templates, there's a lot less waste and a lot less cutting overall. So let's go to our A piece. So it has this wonderful outside curve to it. So what I did is I measured from here to here, the width, and it is 4 3/4, and therefore I cut my strip at 4 3/4. So now I have my strip. With this piece, it doesn't matter if your pieces are right or wrong side together. It's all the same. Now on your B piece, that's going to be different. But I've cut this at 4 3/4. I put it right up here, and you can see the only cutting I have to do is actually the curve itself. So I'm going to go ahead and cut around. Again, this is using our 28mm cutter. Now, in order to get the slits, it's important that you push down and then push out between all those slits. I know it looks like that you're cutting into your seam allowance, but you actually are not. These were engineered so that does not occur. You pull your template off, and you can make sure, now see, you can see the slits. And you just need to kind of pull them apart, We have the slits. It went all the way to the back side. These are instrumental in getting accurate piecing. So you want to use this. And then the easy part is when you go to your next piece, I flip this around and I line it up again against the bottom. Your top lines up. And again, you're going to cut in this case here. And then you're going to cut your straight edge. Whoops, sorry about that. There we go. So we take this, slide it around, make sure everything stayed in place, and simply cut down. And see, and then by doing that, you are getting a lot less waste. That's one of the reasons I used to stay away from templates, is because of the amount of waste. And then you're going to proceed to still cut down into these slits that are going to be used to line up the A and B pieces so you get an accurate, beautiful drunkard's path when you're finished. For your B piece, which I'm going to pull in right here, this one, your strip, you would cut 6.5 inches, which is the width of your template. Now these ones, you need to have right sides facing up. So I have 2 pieces, 2 strips, right sides facing up, and it's the same process as what we did in the past. Again, you just reduce the amount of waste and the amount of actual cutting time by having this pre-done for you. Also, one of the things we talk about, especially early on with our templates, such as our Drunkard's Path, is its use with pre-cuts. This one can easily be done using a layer cake. Our 4-inch Drunkard's Path is great for your charm packs and so forth. So again, you want to get a wide variety of fabrics. You can get an A and B piece out of each of those pre-cuts depending on the size of your template. So I think that's good, and we are ready to show you how we put this all together.
Kelly, I think I just realized the importance of a 28mm rotary cutter. I'm watching that and you made it look so simple. I'm like, that's why. There you go.
That's why.
So much easier. And
I've never used one before until now.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you prioritize less waste when it comes to fabric, because we have so many fabrics, not only that we love and that we want to keep forever, use for so many different projects, but you want to try and conserve it as much as you can, because you're spending money on it. It's worth, you're putting money into it and you want to keep as much as you can. So I love that you really prioritize using as much as you can and saving as much as you can as well.
Yeah. Fabric is getting more and more expensive, and yet it's necessary. That's what draws most of us to quilting, is all the different fabrics out there, the different styles. I mean, fabric moves people and elicits emotion. And so you want to not basically waste that, every precious, millimeter of that fabric.
Right.
And nowadays, with doing miniatures and all the different types of quilts that are using smaller and smaller pieces, people are saving those scraps. Boy, they've got their bags or their bins with different size pieces, because there are so many patterns out there that use smaller pieces. So the more we can do to reduce the amount that actually goes into a landfill, the better, basically.
Exactly. I mean, at our stores, we always keep a scrap bin, and anybody can kind of throw them. And then if you need a little piece, go look in the scrap bin and see what you can grab. But that's just one way we're reusing it. But of course, there's so much more that ends up getting thrown out that we can definitely try and, keep and use it again. I mean, think about it. I'm sure maybe grandkids, if you're making projects and they love this one fabric, or they love this one thing with this one pattern on it. So anything to preserve and like you were saying, it elicits emotion, and just keeping that keeping all the good fabrics alive, because you're right, it is getting expensive. It's getting
Yeah.
pricey out there.
Yeah. Now, I did realize, Kennedy, in watching the video, I'm like, oh, I kind of made a small oops. So when you're cutting the B piece, which is this one, you actually don't need to. When you're cutting two, maybe you've got 2 layers or more, these also don't matter which side of the fabric is up. I said that, the right side up, you don't actually need that. With the Drunkard's Path, it's because these flip, they're the same. Doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong side really with this Drunkard's Path. Now there are with some of our other templates where it does make a difference. But for our Drunkard's Path, it doesn't matter which way your fabric is showing when you go to cut it. So just a little aside on that one. Also, I had mentioned the use of pre-cuts with these, and that's how when they were initially designed, it was with pre-cuts in mind. So again, like I said, the 4-inch works really well with your charm packs. Layer cakes, you can do our 6 and our 8-inch. And then we just came out with a 12-inch one, which is what's used behind me here. And that one can be used with fat quarters. So the other thing I did not mention, as you can see behind me, it's not the traditional Drunkard's Path where you have the wider down here, and it goes up and there's wider. All of our Drunkard's Path come with the option to do the narrower, the skinnier edges here where they meet. So all of them can be done and have them turn out looking like this, which is great because you basically get 2 looks with one template.
I love that. I love that a lot. And I love the quilt behind you. And can I just say, we've been getting so many comments of people asking about that quilt. So I think that's perfect that you use those templates for that.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, look, I'll put you on full screen, but look how nice that quilt is. Oh my gosh. When I saw her this morning, I said, what is that? What is that behind you? It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Somebody said, I'm trying to find the comment, but it made me laugh earlier. Someone said, how did you know I was looking at those Drunkard Path templates this morning? And we're doing a show on it today. So, hey, I mean, it's perfect timing. It really is. A lot of people, I don't know if it's getting more popular or if people are just, starting to find out more about templates, but a lot of people have been asking ways that you can use templates. And I think this is a perfect example. And honestly, it might be a beginner level because I'm looking at this and you can ask people at the San Marcos store, but it's been hard for me to get together with a quilt. I'm embroidery all the way, but quilting has been a little bit of a learning curve for me, but I'm thinking of it like, oh, I think I can do that. It looks pretty good.
It really is. These templates are definitely beginner friendly. You do not need to be an experienced quilter to use these at all. Now, as we have a number of different styles or blocks that use our slit and sew method. Some of them are a little more advanced, but all of them are can be used by the medium, like the beginner to intermediate without any problem. There really is very little learning curve. And once you do one, the process is the same no matter what block you're putting together, whether it's a melon or even a Drunkard or a double wedding ring. It's all the same premise. It's all using slits and it's all about quilting straight and you come out with curves,
Yeah.
So once you get one down, you're good with the rest of them.
Yeah. And I love this technique. And so many people are saying that they're like, I'm a beginner. That's me. One question I did see though was, what foot do you normally use when you're working with these? What's like your go-to foot?
A quarter-inch foot. And yet I do still rely on that tape guide because a lot of times I do, whether I'm teaching a class or I'm going on a retreat, I'm using different machines. So I literally, and what's great is you can use that same tape for a while, switching it between machines. So that just kind of gets put in my go bag basically. And I set my machine up using our seam guide, and away I go. So, but I still do use a 1/4 inch foot.
Yeah, I think that's always good. You know, when I'm sewing, I always try and do a 1/4 inch just because it's, you know, it's a safe option, and also especially with the use of that tape and the little technique you showed us, you'll be set and you will be perfect on that 1/4 inch every single time, which is the dream.
Yay, yes, yes.
Yes. So let's start talking about sewing and how we're taking these pieces and putting them together.
So it really, for the Drunkard's Path, you've got 2 different pieces, which we kind of talked about when cutting. So you're going to have what would be our B piece right here. So that's the outer edge. And then you have your A. And once you get these cut and the slits are in them, you're heading to the sewing machine. And you're going to see in the video coming up just how easy it really is. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is not a speed race. You are not going to be just running your machine at 100 miles an hour and chain piecing. It is a little slower, but the beauty of it is your accuracy you get with the finished block. I found when I did this in the past using other ways, I couldn't, my beginning or my end, and sometimes both, as I mentioned, did not match up. And so their whole idea was then you trim it down to size. There is no trimming down to size. You get this, and you may unsew on occasion, but it's going to be pretty rare. And you're going to love how this goes together so easily. So we'll go ahead and take us over to the video that we did showing you how we actually sew our 2 pieces, our A and our B pieces together.
Okay, so we have cut our pieces and we're ready to sew. Just a real quick tip on the cutting that I forgot to mention. It actually does better if you have a couple of layers and you cut them at the same time. I don't know why, but it does. It likes to cut through anywhere from 2 to 4 layers. So there's that little tip. Okay, so this piece here is going to go face up. We're going to take face down here, and we're going to square them right up, even with the top. And we're going to put our thread down, and I'll bring my foot over here. And we're going to take about 2 or 3 stitches. Alrighty, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to put my needle down, and you're going to lift up on your presser foot, and you're going to find that next cut, that little nick basically, and you're going to put those together, line them up, put your presser foot back down, and then you're going to sew until you get past that. And then you line up with your next one, and we have it, we can see here and here. We line those up and we sew. And you do that the whole way through. It's super easy. You can tug. You're allowed to tug if you need to. It's very forgiving in that respect. Okay, so we're going to go all the way down here. We're getting close to the end. And you're going to go right about here. And this is where this fingertip stiletto from Traditional Primitives works. So I'm going to lift my presser foot, and I'm going to bring my 2 pieces of fabric even now with the bottom. All right. And you can see using the stiletto, I'm able to adjust everything. Now we've got it even with the bottom. We're going to hold it down, drop our feed dog, and we're going to sew off to the end, which we have just done. So now I'm going to clip this. I don't like my threads showing, and I'm going to show you how we have now done a Drunkard's Path. Let me flip it this way. And you don't have to do any squaring up. The beginning and the end match up perfectly. Now, you know, it may take a little bit of time to get comfortable with that, but it's in comparison to having to square up every block that you make. This is super easy, less stress, and your sewing machine is going to do a beautiful job. And you're going to find that this process of curve piecing is now not as daunting as it used to be. So when it comes time for actual pressing, flip over to the back. You're either going to press this way out or in. But I would hold off on doing your pressing until you have your layout, because as always, it's much easier, more accurate if you have opposing seams. So once you do your layout, you can check what opposing seams, and then you would want to press accordingly. So at this point in time, I would not press. I would just get it kind of nice and flat, put it on my design wall, and go on and make as many of these blocks as you want.
I just want to tell everybody real quick that that video was 3 minutes, and I think 3 minutes and about 50 seconds long. So that took you, what, I'd say maybe about a minute or two to get one little piece out. Oh my gosh. Everybody's saying that you make it look easy. This is that they're sold. I'm looking at all this perfect block. Oh my gosh. Everybody is loving it.
Oh,
and
yay.
Somebody already said, I've already got this in my cart, and I'm sold. I'm done. So I love it. I love it.
It really is just that easy. Now, I know some people are going, yeah, that's probably all she does all day is sew those curved pieces, kind of like the carnies, you know, with the basketball and the hoop. You're like, how are they doing that? And I always would say, it's because that's all they do all day, every day. You should be good at it by then.
Yeah.
I literally don't do this all day. I mean, my job at Quilter's Paradise entails more than just being, you know, sewing their samples and testing out all the different slit and sew templates. I'm their account manager, so I'm busy with a whole lot of things. But I literally cannot work on a project for a week or 2 weeks, sometimes 3, and come back to it. And it literally is just that easy to pick back up. So,
Yeah.
oh, and you know what? I did have somebody, I heard that somebody had asked about these arrows that are on all of our templates. Those designate straight of grain, because if we're sewing on a bias, you're going to get wonky. Just like any other time that you sew using a bias, you have to be really careful. So that prevents you from sewing on bias, getting those bias cuts. So you're going to have an arrow here and an arrow here, and that's going to designate your straight of grain. So that should help you when you're cutting there.
I love that. I love that. Also, everybody's talking about how that finger stiletto came in to play once you got to the end. And I have always struggled when sewing pieces together. Once you get to that end piece, it can be so hard. If you guys didn't know, I have had an incident where the needle has, you know, I've had an incident with the needle. I feel like everybody has to have that at least one time in their life.
Everybody, I swear, has.
But it was right at that point. I was so close to finishing something, and you just get too close. But I think it's awesome to just have that little tool there. I mean, it almost became like a part of your finger, because you don't even pay attention to it after a while. It's like a ring.
Right. I tended to use my fingernail a lot, and it does work. And I'll tell you, having these acrylic nails has prevented many a sewing machine needle from entering my finger, but it still can't get quite that close. So this stiletto is more like an extension of your fingertip, and it just slides right under your feet, under your presser foot. So it is a great tool to use.
And it's so great to see it in action, especially with that video. You know, when you see tools like that, you're like, I don't know how this is, you know, what is this? How is this going to work? But once you see it, you know, going under the fabric, and especially if you're working with smaller pieces, because those templates come in different sizes.
Exactly.
So if you're working with super teeny tiny pieces, it's so convenient to just have the little tool just to take off any of the hassle, because again, consistency and efficiency, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really kind of funny because I found that tool. It's a tool that Missy uses for her applique, and to get her applique down, like she does the starch. and the freezer paper, and to get those curves down and whatever pieces, that's what she uses. And I was working, doing a sample for her, and she sent me one. And then all of a sudden, I was like at work one day, and we were starting to do these samples of our slit sew, and I'm like, wow, I bet that would work. And sure enough, I brought mine in and used it, and I'm like, oh, I'm sold. This is, I need to have this when I'm doing any of my slit sew templates. Yeah. So Missy thought that was very fun, that we found another use for her wonderful fingertip stiletto.
Right. And I mean, applique too. Like when you said that, I'm like, you're so right. Getting that all in there, and just, you can be working with the tiniest little pieces. So, and I know when especially applique, if you're, say, doing a Christmas project and you need that one little 1/2 inch or 1 inch piece, it's like, oh, come on. But with that, it just makes it look so much easier. Oh, wow. I love it. I love it. So I think you have a video of some examples of some of the projects that you've made with those templates. So let's chat about those and show those videos.
Yeah, these were fun, and you're going to enjoy in seeing all the ways that you can use this specific template set, the layouts. And I want to let you know, we're in the process also of putting together a quilt that uses all 4 sizes of our Drunkard's Path, and it's going to be gorgeous. It's out of Maywood Studios. Their flannels that they put out, they're woolies. And we will definitely have that up on our website, and we'll be happy to send you a picture as well, Kennedy, if you want to throw that up on Sewing Machines Plus as well. But it's a beautiful quilt. But the ones that you're going to see now are really fun, and you're going to see just what you can do with these templates.
So beautiful, Kelly. Oh my gosh, I love them. And Maywood, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what you guys come out soon. Their fabrics are probably one of my favorites, especially their woolly.
Oh yeah.
You said that and my ears went, oh.
Yeah, our Karen put it together. She picked all the fabrics and she set up the whole quilt. I'm doing the fun part, to me, which is the piecing part. And she did such a great job, and you're all going to really love it. And what's nice is these templates and these blocks translate so easily into whatever draws your attention, whether it's the more primitives, or maybe you like Amy Butler, or maybe you like Kafe. These all translate to whatever draws you. You know, there's not like it only works for this specific type of collection. It really crosses the board from your primitive all the way to your modern. So it's just a matter of your imagination coming up with what you want to create.
Yeah, that's when I start, thinking about, people on the show or different projects I'm making, I always tend to navigate and go towards projects that are very broad in the sense that you can do different things with them. Like, for example, I love Kafe, but I also love Moda, like the basics of Moda. There's 2 different sides of it all. So I love projects that you can really tailor it to your own unique, whatever you like, or even, grandkids or family members, or gifts or anything like that. Anything that you can customize, especially like with these templates, it's so perfect. I mean, especially with Christmas coming up, you guys, I'm sure you guys are probably making some projects, making some gifts. This is a great way to make, quilts, or even you could do like pillows with them, anything you want, and make them totally customizable, but still have a really great simple pattern and template, but still step it up a notch because it is curves and it's circles. Right. So I love it.
Good. I'm glad. Well, I'm just loving it. And the fact that we have so many other block that we have incorporated this same method to, from triangles, which people kind of go, huh? We'll have to talk about triangles later on, how great they work. You know, all the way up to a double wedding ring, which I love the look, the traditional, but I love the fact that you switch those fabrics around and you can use some really bold, bright colors and make this amazing quilt. And I have never even thought about doing a double wedding ring quilt or a table runner because of the curved piece and what's involved. And literally, our templates make it so easy and accessible to quilters of all, you know, all levels, basically.
Yeah.
So,
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, they really look so amazing. And if you guys are local and you've shopped with us before, make a trip over to Quilter's Paradise and, you know, browse their website, look at them on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, all of that. I've got it all down below. But this is exactly what I wanted to show you guys today, is how easy quilting templates can be and how I guess personal you can make them when it comes to your quilts. I mean, when you showed the sample fabrics that you were just holding up with the Christmas, I'm envisioning it like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And then behind you, it's just the simple black and white. I mean, there's endless opportunities, and I love it.
Possibilities. Yes.
Yes. But it looks so sophisticated as well. I mean, like, I don't know. I could talk about all these things all day long and analyze all these different quilts.
Well, when I was making the quilt behind me, I was at a retreat, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to kind of lean towards our modern quilters, you know, that are they like more solid feel, but they want a little bit of movement in it. And so I was making this, and it went together. I literally did this in probably 4 hours, maybe, from start to finish. But when I got to borders, I was telling my friends, I'm like, what am I going to do with the border? I don't know. And they picked out this lime green, and I was like, And then I put it on there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. So, you know, it's just experimenting and having fun. That's all what quilting is. Anytime that I start to get frustrated, I'll walk away, because this is my happy place. And if I'm not happy, I don't want to be here. But with curved piecing and this method, I'm always happy, you know, when I'm in there sewing using them. So
I can even tell by when you talk about it, you're like, look at this, it's so easy, it's simple. I can just, you radiate the excitement that it's genuine of you talking about it, because the way you do it, you work with these templates all the time, you test them. You know, you're probably one of the first people to get your hands on them and try them out.
I know, it's
if
fun.
you guys are watching, she's the, what's the word? You're the one man. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a word.
One-man band. No, I have so many people behind me.
Right.
I give them the happy face.
Yes. Well, there you go. You guys, I'm sure you know what I mean. But yes. Well, Kelly, once again, you guys, if you guys are looking for a little bundle to get your day started, or you want to try any of these products, definitely go check out our website. I'll link it down again below, but it's in our description. You can try all of these bundles, and they will be here until, I believe, tomorrow morning. We're going to take that bundle up. So go grab them while you can. And then also the Drunkard's Path templates are on our website as well. And I've got them all linked down there, so you can go browse, check out the different sizes. They're amazing. And yeah, I mean, Kelly, I just want them to go try them.
Good. I hope people do. They're going to find out that it really is as easy as I make it look.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Kelly, I'm sure that you've got a busy day ahead of you, so I will go ahead and let you go. I'm going to go do some giveaways with my friends over here. But thank you so much for coming on and showing us about these templates and just all your favorite little products. I think that it was so informative and so eye-opening on what you can do with your bundles and your templates.
Well, thank you, Kennedy, so much for having me and having our Slit and Sew template on our Drunkard's Path. It was really fun. I really enjoyed myself.
Yes, me too. Well, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Say hi to Karen for me. And I will talk to you guys soon, okay?
All right. Thanks again.
All right. Of course. All right, you guys. What did you guys think? I saw so many positive comments, and that always makes me so happy because sometimes I think I'm like, people are gonna watch today's episode, you know. Some people are more embroidery, you know, there's so many different things that people like, but I get so excited when you guys enjoy what I bring on. So thank you so much for tuning in. And let's go ahead and get into some giveaways and see what we've got going on up in here. So let me get our giveaway music. Once again, I'm just going to show you guys real quick up on our screen here, the bundle right here. It is so awesome, and this is the first time we've ever really done a bundle on the show before, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Go get your hands on it. It comes with that 28mm rotary cutter, got the handy grabber, all of that, and you can also add the optional thread stem if you'd like, but it's optional, it's up to you. I know a lot of people have their own thread stand, so just left that up to you guys. But also, if you guys are looking at the Drunkard's Path, these are what they look like. So those are just some options for you as well if you want to check those out. But yeah, just want to show you guys real quick. But let's go ahead. I'm going to refresh this real quick. I know last time we had issues with the spinner, so I just want to make sure that we are good. Keep going. Okay. All right. So let me take this off real quick and let's get into what we're giving away today. All right. You know, I had to put this in here. You know them, you love them. It's our SMP iconic sew mats, and we have a new color that's not on that little diagram. It's called Blueberry, and it's a really gorgeous, it's kind of in the middle of blue and purple. It is so beautiful, and we have so many different options for you. You can go ahead and pick whichever size you want and the color if you win today's giveaway. So it's awesome. Love that one. So let's go ahead and see what we're gonna do today. Alrighty, so let me take this off real quick and let's go ahead and start spinning. All right, let's see. Let's see who's gonna win. Lisa G, congratulations. She watches all the time, so congratulations to you. You have just won your very own SMP sew mat, and you can pick the size and the color. It's amazing. It's great. So should we do one more? I think we'll do one more. We'll do one more for you guys today. Let's go ahead and spin again and see who's gonna win another sew mat, just because I'm crazy like that, you guys. I just decide these things on the spot, but I know you guys love these mats, so anything for you. Wolfgeist, congratulations, Wolfgeist. You have just won a SMP sew mat. Let's go ahead and head to SMPLive.tv to claim your prize, and we will get that out to you. All right, I want to do another giveaway. So let's go ahead and do a $100 SMP gift card. And let's go ahead and see, because we had the bundle on there today, we had the templates, we have a lot of good stuff on there. So I thought, let's do a little giveaway for some gift cards. So let's spin and see. I want to see if someone new. I know we've got a lot of new watchers on here. I want to give you guys a chance to win too. Let's see. Oh, we're going to spin again. We're going to spin again. Don't worry, guys. Let's see. Roxanne Sexton, congratulations. You have just won a $100 gift card to SMP, so go ahead and head to smplive.tv to claim your prize and go get shopping. Woo woo. I'm going to do one more $50 giveaway. $50 gift card for you guys, because I know Black Friday is coming up. I know there's tons of good things going on in there, so let's go ahead and spin. This one is just going to be a $50 gift card. But again, I want someone new. I want a new winner on here. Let's see. I want to see some new faces on here. Oh, Chantel Pinto. Congratulations. You have just won a $50 gift card to SMP. So if you would like, you can go ahead and head to smplive.tv to claim your prize, and we will get you that gift card via email, and you can get shopping. All right, guys, I am so happy with today's show today. I think it went so well. We got some new winners on there. I think it went really well today, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I had so much fun, and I love bringing local friends onto the show because we're all in this together, you know? San Diego, we keep it together. I tried to be all like united and, I don't know if it worked. It probably was really awkward, but whatever. It's okay. It's okay. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming on and watching today's show. I had so much fun, and I hope you guys learned something new or gave those bundles or those templates a try. They are awesome. Really, really recommend. I would never show you guys a product that I really didn't think would help you guys or that you guys wouldn't love. So I hope you enjoy. Go browse. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Make sure you guys tune in this Thursday for Blaine's show for SMP Live. And I think that's it, you guys. I will see you guys so soon. Have a wonderful day. Go sew something fun. And if you would like, join our Facebook group and then send me pictures because I love seeing it all the time. Just show me all the pictures. All right, you guys. I'm going to head out of here and stop chatting. But again, have a wonderful day. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.